choose our socks for success in all endeavors. Fortunes rises from the heel, and good luck for life.
Good morning. Today is Thursday, November 7th, 2024. Today in history. On this day 157 years ago, Marie Curie, a famous French-Polish scientist, physicist, and chemist, was born. She was known as Madame Curie to the world. In 1903, Marie Curie and Pierre Curie, along with Henri Becquerel, jointly won the Nobel Prize in Physics for their research on radioactivity. In 1911, Marie Curie discovered the elements polonium and radium, earning her a second Nobel Prize, this time in chemistry. She became the first person to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different scientific fields. Today marks the beginning of winter, one of the 24 traditional solar terms in the Chinese lunar calendar. This period signifies a time when all things enter a state of recuperation, with the weather transitioning from the dryness of autumn to the rainy and cold conditions of winter. Welcome to today's Qingqiao Morning News. Let's start with political updates.
Over 60 million U.S. voters have cast early ballots, breaking 2020 record. According to Bloomberg News, statistics from the University of Florida Election Laboratory indicate that over 60 million American voters have voted early, surpassing the 2020 record. Many states, including key swing states, have implemented early voting. Historically, Democratic voters tend to participate in mail-in voting at higher rates. An October poll revealed a notable gender gap in support for the presidential candidates. Harris leads Trump by 12 percentage points among female voters, while Trump leads Harris by 7 percentage points among male voters. UK Conservatives elect first black female leader. According to Reuters, on November 2, the British Conservative Party elected 44-year-old Kemi Badenoch as its new leader, making her the first black woman to lead a major political party in the UK. In the intra-party election, Badenoch secured victory with a 57% approval rate, defeating former Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick. After her election, she pledged to address internal party issues, acknowledging that the Conservatives had alienated some core supporters by shifting toward the political center or left. U.S. strategic bombers join Korea-US-Japan military drills. Comprehensive News from Seoul reports that on November 3, South Korea, the United States, and Japan conducted a joint air exercise. The South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff stated that the exercise took place in the overlapping area of the South Korea-Japan Air Defense Identification Zone, east of Jeju Island. Participants included South Korean Air Force F-15K and KF-16 fighter jets, U.S. Air Force F-16s and B-1B strategic bombers, and Japan's Air Self-Defense Force F-2 fighter jets. This marks the second joint air exercise between the 3 nations this year, aimed at countering military threats from Pyongyang, and it is the 4th time U.S. strategic bombers have operated over the Korean peninsula this year, underscoring the commitment to comprehensive deterrence between South Korea and the U.S. alliance. Cambodia releases planting zone map to boost cashew industry. According to Cambodia China Times, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries of Cambodia has recently released a detailed map of cashew nut growing areas. This map outlines the precise locations, sizes, soil quality assessments, and climate data for cashew cultivation across the country, aimed at promoting the development of the cashew industry and encouraging sustainable agricultural practices. Du Van Hoa, State Secretary of the Ministry, highlighted that the cashew map will provide farmers, investors, and policymakers with essential information for making informed decisions regarding land use, crop management, and market development. Currently, Cambodia's cashew nut production area spans approximately 580,000 hectares, yielding an average of about 1.5 tons per hectare. Indonesia dismantles illegal gambling site, seizes IDR 70.1 billion. According to Comprehensive News from Jakarta, Indonesian police recently dismantled an online gambling syndicate led by a Chinese national, arresting 7 suspects, including a foreign citizen, and seizing assets valued at IDR 70.1 billion. Asep, Deputy Director of the Criminal Investigation Bureau of the Indonesian National Police, announced at a press conference that the police uncovered a gambling website called Slot 82 to 78 in October. The website server is located overseas, and it has approximately 85,000 Indonesian users engaged in gambling activities. Additionally, authorities arrested 16 individuals, including 11 staff members from the Ministry of Communications and Digital, for allegedly abusing their authority to facilitate these online gambling operations. Malaysia recalls 3,722 cars and motorcycles. News from Malaysia. Recently, due to serious safety and compliance issues, the Malaysian Land Transport Authority announced the recall of 3,722 vehicles, including Perodjoe's Alza and Aruz models, as well as Honda's CB350 RS motorcycles. Authorities discovered that certain models did not meet regulatory standards. Specifically, the headlights of 3 Alza models and 2 Aruz models were found to be non-compliant, while Honda motorcycles had faulty speed sensors, which could lead to significant errors in the anti-lock braking system, anti-skid control system, and speedometer. The authorities stated that car companies would directly contact affected vehicle owners, who can also visit authorized service centers nationwide for inspections. If any defective parts are identified, they will be replaced at no cost to the owners, with all expenses covered by the manufacturers. Reducing sugar intake in infants can prevent chronic diseases in adulthood. Comprehensive news from London. Recent British research indicates that reducing sugar intake during pregnancy and infancy may help prevent chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension in adulthood. The study highlights the crucial importance of diet in the earliest stages of life. Scientists found that the first 1,000 days of life are vital for nutritional intake, as infants first absorb nutrients from their mothers before transitioning to formula and solid foods. By limiting sugar consumption during fetal development and early childhood to levels recommended by dietary guidelines, the risk of developing type 2 diabetes in middle age can be reduced by 35%, and the risk of high blood pressure can decrease by 20%.
According to Palian Press, alumina futures prices have surged since mid-September, reaching record highs. Recently, the main contract for this commodity climbed to 5,055 yuan per ton. That's all for today's Qingchao Morning News. Thanks for watching. Join us at the same time tomorrow.